Mr. Whiskers had no idea that today his life would change forever. It was just a normal day. At least that's what Mr. Whiskers thought. But then, right in the middle of the park, next to the fountain, Mrs. Whiskers' face twisted. Her eyes widened and, oh no, she threw up. But the problem was bigger than that. That night, the same thing happened again. Mr. Whiskers had just relaxed on the couch watching a video when, bang! A strange noise from the kitchen made him jump. Again, here too, he was getting suspicious, but still not sure. Days passed, and Mrs. Whiskers decided to confirm her suspicions. She took a test, locked herself in the bathroom, and after a few minutes, she walked out. Her eyes sparkled. 2 blue lines. There was no doubt now. She was pregnant. Mr. Whiskers had just come back from work, exhausted. He slumped on the couch, phone in hand, half asleep. Meanwhile, Mrs. Whiskers, with a mysterious smile, quietly grabbed a small box, placed the test inside, and tied a red ribbon around it. She walked up to him and handed him the box. Mr. Whiskers lazily opened it, stared at its contents for a few seconds, and then, boom, his eyes widened. His heart pounded with excitement and Mrs. Whiskers' cravings had turned Mr. Whiskers' life into a sleepless nightmare. At 3 a.m., just as he was about to close his eyes, a voice echoed from the kitchen. "Whiskers, I want fried fish with honey." Mr. Whiskers, still half asleep, groaned, "But it's 3 in the morning." And the reply came instantly. "So?" Lightning flashed across the sky. The rain pounded against the windows. The streets were wet and empty. And then, "Whiskers! It's time!" Mrs. Whiskers screamed, clutching her belly. Mr. Whiskers jumped to his feet, grabbed his phone, and "No service? The car's gone?" Panic rushed through his veins. There was only one option left. He burst through the hospital doors, gasping for breath. The nurses rushed over. "She needs an emergency C-section," one of them called out. Mr. Whiskers, with teary eyes, walked into the room. Mrs. Whiskers lay exhausted but smiling. The nurse gently placed the tiny kittens on her chest. Mr. Whiskers gazed at them, his heart swelling with emotion. He took a deep breath and then, with a voice full of wonder, whispered. For the first time, Mr. Whiskers wasn't just a cat anymore. He was a dad. If you love this heartwarming moment, be sure to hit that like and don't miss out on all the wild adventures coming your way. Subscribe now. You won't want to miss what happens next.